the royalty family you're saying, right? It says
angels stole from the pagans.
Check it out. Hold on, let me finish this up. It says, my grandfather was a doctor who practiced in Richmond, Virginia around the turn of the century. The skull was given to him by a female patient whose name is not known. She claimed to have gotten it from her father, who was a physician in attendance when Nat Turner was executed. Turner's missing skull had long been a sore spot for black people living in and outside of Southampton, Virginia community. The beheading of Turner coincided with the boiling down of his flesh. So they boiled his flesh down, right? And the use of his skin parts to make the notorious money purse. They turned his skin into an actual purse, right? Do you say that's humane? You said the royal family. Is that a humane thing to do to a so-called Israelite, a black man? Let me finish this up right here. It says Franklin's letter to Styron only confirmed long-standing black suspicions that whites had literally and socially consumed Turner's body. So these white people ate Nat Turner. They ate him. They ate his penis. They ate his scrotum. They ate all that type of stuff right there, right? So they ate everything. They ate his whole body, and they kept his skull, and they passed it around as a family heirloom through society. That's what they did to the brother Nat Turner.
That's what they did?
Huh? Yes, that's what the so-called white man did to Nat Turner, right? Yes. Yes. What do you think about that? Do you think it should be justice for something like that? Like, should something happen to those people that did this? Well, check this out.
If it was me, it probably would end up somewhere.
So check this out, right? So the Most High said something is going to happen. If your father will be a so-called black, Hispanic, or Native American, you will be an Israelite according to the Bible. Because God never called nobody black, American, Chinese, none of that. Our nationality is 18 nations, and all these 18 nations are actually listed in the Holy Bible. So, do you see yourself actually on this sign at all? Would you be would your father be a so-called Hispanic man, a black man, or a Native American Indian? Then this will be for you actually. If not, then you'll be another nation. If your father wouldn't be a so-called on this tribe.
No, my father's not a black man.
He's not a black man? Well, what is your father?
Probably just another brown burger.
Huh?
Probably just another brown burger.
Brown burger?
Brown brother.
Brown brother. Like Hispanic? Would it be Italian?
No, it's not a while.
German? Anything like that? French?
The island of...
Island like from like Pacific Islands?
More like the Atlantic.
Like what you mean, like Jamaica, Trinidad?
Close to them.
Close to there? Okay, like what island? Like Bahamas?
Somewhere down there, across the 7 Mile there.
Okay, well let me read this to you right here real quick then, because it's all about if your spirit bears witness. Is your father still alive? No, you haven't seen him? Okay, well check this out right here. This is the book of Romans. So if your spirit bears witness to this, then you will be an Israelite, because the Israelites, it says that we want to know who our fathers are in these last days. So this is the book of Romans chapter 8 and verse 16, and it says, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. So if this happened to your forefathers and your ancestors, then you will be an Israelite according to the Bible. Because like I said before, God didn't call nobody black, Hispanic, or Native American. Now those people that got down to those islands, they got there by way of slave ship, right? And so did your forefather get there by way of slave ship at all? Do you know? You don't know?
Probably was a slave on a rowboat or something.
On a rowboat? Well, we came here by cargo slave ships, right?
Not all of them.
Well, some of them was already here, Native American Indians, but their journey here is kind of a little bit different, you know. But either way, all 12 tribes are here in America right now, and we're living in the last days. And in these last days, these 12 tribes need to wake up. So check this out right here. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. It says, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God." So if the children of Israel wouldn't listen to the voice of the Most High, it says to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Now, so yes, so these curses will be getting hung. This is a church right here in Spain. That church is actually made off the bones of Native American Indians that were taken over to Spain, and they made a whole church out of them.
From the chicken liver, right?
No, these aren't chicken livers. This is actually people. Those are human bodies. Yeah, this is not yeah, these are human skulls right here. They killed the Native American Indians and actually made a church out of them, right? Let me read on. This is verse 16. It says, "Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field." So the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are now cursed in the cities. Like how we living in Mexico, pretty bad. How we living in Southeast San Diego.
Have you been down to Mexico recently?
Oh yes, definitely. The cartels and stuff, they running wild, you know?
Not even the truth. That's far from the truth.
It's far from the truth?
That's very
So I mean, what I've seen is that, you know, so-called Hispanics are being locked in cages by ICE, you know, ISIS and stuff like that. They're being inhumanely treated. The brothers that came from Haiti, right? They're pushing them back into the ocean and the water, and have so-called like the border patrol on back of horses actually whipping them to get back into the ocean. Like, where is it else to go besides drown me? You know? So yes, it's definitely happening there. You know? It says, "Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field." So the Israelites will live in a cursed condition and impoverished condition. That's how we're living today. That's so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Let me jump down right here. This is a Sri Lanka. What is that? I know where Sri Lanka is at, but what's the way of looking at it?
Different hues represent different things. If we represent black, you don't mind sharing your movements with a man or a woman. I have a problem with sharing my movements.
Sharing your moments? Your movements. Okay. Yeah, well, some of our people are in Sri Lanka, but you know, they're scattered. Our people are scattered around. And that's why it's important that you know who your father is, because your father is going to determine if you get salvation. Because when Christ comes back, he's not coming back for everybody. He's only coming back for the Israelites, the people that's on this sign, right? If you look at this right here, this is a slave manifest. It's, of the slave. Huh? Yeah, he's going to come back as a judge, and he's going to come back and kill all so-called white people, all so-called Chinese people, Japanese, all of that. Right. No, definitely. That's definitely going to happen. I agree with you. But so the laws were actually given to the children of Israel, and the children of Israel actually have to return back to these laws to get out of this captivity, right? So Christ won't come back and kill them, you know. So this is pretty much what I'm teaching up here, is that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans need to come back to keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, and having the faith in Christ in these last days. So let me check this out. This is the book of Job, chapter 8 and verse 8. Is your mother still living? No. Check this out. So it says, "For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers." So whoever is in your family on your father's side that's still living, you should search out to see who your father is, because this is actually very important to salvation. Because like I said, Christ is not coming back for everybody. He's only coming back for the Israelites. That's it.
No más agrelos.
Noticia?
Nada.
Oh, hey, primo, ven aquí. Do you see yourself on this line? On this sign?
What's that?
Would you be a so-called black, Hispanic, or Native American?
Because
Yeah, I see that.
Well, check this out right here. I'm gonna read something to you. Do you believe in the Biblios? You believe in God? You believe in God? Okay, you believe in God?
Right.
You believe in Christ? Okay, so check this out right here. So the people on this sign will actually be Israelites, and they're God's chosen people. Check this out right here, brother. This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 22. And it reads, "Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I. So this is Paul saying that he's an Israelite, just like you will be an Israelite, right? Because it goes by the seed line of your father, who your father is, right? How did the so-called Mexicans, why are y'all called Hispanic? Let me ask you that first. Why are y'all called Hispanic? Do you know where that term comes from?
Because the Spanish came over and conquered the natives that were here, and it was first called Hispania.
Right.
Before it was called something different.
Yeah, so Hispanic means pertaining to Spain, right? But you're not a property of Spain, right? You're actually the property of the Most High, of God. These are bywords that was given to us for breaking the law, statutes, and commandments of God, right? If you look at this right here, this is the so-called Mexicans being led into captivity by the gringos. The so-called Native Americans had yokes of irons also put on their necks as well, right? This happened to us because of reasons like this. Do you know any commandments? A few? Do you eat things like pork?
Do I eat pork?
Pork, El Pastor?
Yeah.
Check this out, brother. So you said you love God. So this is the reason why this stuff happened to us. This is the book of Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 7. And the swine, so the swine is what? El Pastor. Though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. So the animal, the pig is a very unclean, dirty animal. A pig will eat anything. It'll eat a dead body, it eats feces, it eats whatever you give to it, right? It says, of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you. So we can't even touch the pig at all.
Is that how it says it in the book, or is that how it says it on that?
This is no. This is the a Bible app right here. I can read it out of the Bible itself too. So let's
it
pull.
varies from how you.
Well, let me. It's the same thing. This is King James version of the Bible, right? I can go out of the Bible. It's the same thing. This is just a little faster.
It's the King James.
King James Bible.
Try the Middle English.
So check. Well, we're not. So no one speaks Hebrew here, so we're not going to the original language with it. But check this out right here. I'll go to it inside of the Bible. So a pig, right? It has no sweat glands, right? If you cut open a pig, it has all types of worms in it. The tapeworm, the trichomonas worm, and it has pus and tumors that come out of it, right? So this is why the Most High said we're not supposed to eat the pork.
Tapeworm, pinworm.
There you go. You see, you know.
A bunch of different kinds of worms.
Stuff that's going to make you sick. This is why we suffer from things like high blood pressure, diabetes, gout. It's because of the foods that we're eating. So do you think you can stop eating pig for the Most High?
It's rare when I eat pork.
Well, the Most High says we can't eat it at all. Like, we can't even deal with that. You know, if you love God, you'll stop eating it.
Right.
For God. Okay.
Right. You know, it was put here on the planet. So
It's put here on the planet to clean the planet, though.
Well,
Keep it
yeah,
clean, like a garbage can.
It does. But
Right.
the people that cuts it open and feeds it to us, they don't know about it, or they don't care about it.
Right, but so since we're a holy people, we got a holy temple. We can't eat whatever anybody gives us.
That's like
Yeah,
this.
well,
When you talk to
he's not
Muslims, you
giving,
can
it's
tell
bought.
them if there's nothing else around,
They'll eat it. They'll eat it.
allowed to eat pork.
Right. But the
As long as
Israelites
there's
can't
nothing
eat
around.
it. Right, the Israelites can't eat it. Let me give you another one. Do you eat stuff like shrimp, crab, and lobster? Do you eat that stuff
shrimp,
like
shrimp is good.
shrimp? Check this
Everything
out.
from the sea is permissible.
Check it. Well, let's
Everything
see.
from the
Let's
sea
see. This is out of the Bible. This is out of the book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 9.
Jesus Christ gave us fish.
But yeah, fish. We can eat fish. So check this out right
Fish.
here. Check this out, brother.
Fish in
This
the
says,
water.
listen to the words of God. It says, "These shall ye eat of all that are in
Giving
the
us
water." So this is
Bohemian
what you can eat
Piker.
out of the water.
Yeah.
Whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. So we can eat whatever has fins and scales. A shrimp, it doesn't have fins and scales. Would you eat a cockroach?
No.
No. Check this out right here. This is what it's right here. A cockroach.
Smoke a roach.
A cockroach has the same biological makeup as a
I might
shrimp.
ride a roach.
It's a sea roach. That's pretty much what it is, right? It has the same biological makeup as a shrimp. It's just the land version. That's all it is. You know, with a cockroach, right? So a shrimp has all these little small tentacles and legs and stuff, and it crawls everywhere, right? So God said we can't eat that because it's a bottom feeder. It keeps the ocean clean, right? Do you think that's something that you can stop eating? The shrimp? For the Lord? You can eat fish which has fins and scales, but no catfish.
Yeah, I would say in general, a lot of people on this planet eat shrimp, but it's there.
Right, but we got to be different though.
Well,
We got to be different because we're holy. You can eat things like chicken. You can eat beef.
You must leave it. Leave that word around everywhere.
What you mean?
Because it's rare. I hear you saying about anything. It's rare about anything I hear.
Right,
So whatever I eat it.
right, and so
Later on, I shit it out.
right.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's because we don't know any better. Check this out.
I know better, but
You know better?
It's just why I eat whatever.
Check this out right here. So this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 66. So check it. So when Christ comes back, because do you believe Christ is returning?
Yeah, he will.
Okay, so check this out. So this is what happens when Christ comes back if we're found eating stuff like pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 66, and I'm going to start with verse 15.
Some version of it?
Huh? This is the King James Version, King James Bible, Holy Bible.
It's the other.
No, the KJV. So it says, for behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. So it's saying Christ is going to kill a lot of people, right? They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens, hold on right here, brother, behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh, with its pig, right? And the abomination, shrimp, crab, and lobster, and the mouse. I'm from down south, from the Carolinas, right? They eat possum. It says, shall be consumed together, saith the Lord. So if you're found eating pig in these last days, then the Most High says he's going to kill you. You know? If you're found eating pig in these last days, the Most High says he's going to kill all people eating pork. You know?
I thought they ate the pennies.
Huh?
I thought they ate the pennies.
What you mean eat pennies?
I don't know. It's kind of a fuzzy kind of thing.
I'm not really sure what you mean by this. Can I give you a flyer? Do you speak Spanish or English?
English.
English, okay. Let me give you a flyer, brother. Check this out. I got a YouTube channel where you can check all this information out on it. Okay, brother. All right, you'll be Israelite. Let me show you something real quick. So check this out right here. So this is a history book called The Delectable Negro, right? Have you ever heard of a man named Nat Turner? So Nat Turner, he led a slave revolt on the slave plantation, right? Where he killed a whole bunch of white people. This was back in 18. Why did he kill them? Yeah. Because he was a slave. Our people were slaves. This happened to us, right? So if you put it to, but this didn't happen to everybody though. This didn't happen to everybody at all, right? So now your spirit is starting to bear witness who you are, right? Because they're not royalty. The Most High, according to the Bible, the so-called white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Let me show this to you right here. This is out of the book, The Delectable Negro, right? Let me show you what white people did to Nat Turner. It says, this is from page 177 out of the Delectable Negro. It says, amid this national furor, Styron's novel and notoriety led to the resurrection of the most contentious and racially charged aspect of Turner's legacy. In November of 1968, Styron received a letter from one Robert B. Franklin in Elkhart, Indiana, describing how he had come to possess Turner's missing skull. So he had Nat Turner's missing skull, right? I have in my possession a skull, he begins, which I believe to be that of Nat Turner. The skull was given to me by my father, who inherited it from his. So these Caucasians, these white people, passed down this black man's skull through their whole lineage, right? The royalty family, you're saying, right? It says,
angels stole from the pagans.
Check it out. Hold on, let me finish this up. It says, my grandfather was a doctor who practiced in Richmond, Virginia, around the turn of the century. The skull was given to him by a female patient whose name is not known. She claimed to have gotten it from her father, who was a physician in attendance when Nat Turner was executed. Turner's missing skull had long been a sore spot for black people living in and outside of Southampton, Virginia community. The beheading of Turner coincided with the boiling down of his flesh. So they boiled his flesh down, right? And the use of his skin parts to make the notorious money purse. They turned his skin into an actual purse, right? Do you say that's humane? You said the royal family. Is that a humane thing to do to a so-called Israelite, a black man? Let me finish this up right here. It says, Franklin's letter to Styron only confirmed long-standing black suspicions that whites had literally and socially consumed Turner's body. So these white people ate Nat Turner. They ate him. They ate his penis. They ate his scrotum. They ate all that type of stuff right there, right? So they ate everything. They ate his whole body, and they kept his skull and they passed it around as a family heirloom through society. That's what they did to the brother Nat Turner.
That's what they did?
Huh? Yes, that's what the so-called white man did to Nat Turner, right? Yes. Yes. What do you think about that? Do you think it should be justice for something like that? Like, should something happen to those people that did this? Well, check this out.
If it was me, it probably would end up somewhere.
So check this out, right? So the Most High said something is going to happen. Now I'm actually reading from the Bible right here. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, and let's go to verse 21. So this is what's going to happen to those people according to God. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 21. It says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers. So the people that did that to Nat Turner, a slaughter is going to be prepared for them, right? It says that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Now that's what you call justice right there, because this happened to the so-called Israelites, right? Such a tragic and disgusting act, right?
How tragic, not disgusting.
Well, we just read it. Somebody get eaten. Would you? I mean, come on.
Somebody being injured is not disgusting.
Well, see, that bears witness with who you
You
are.
can eat a third of the liver and sell two.
Well, that shows that you are a vile person. Then, if you will sit up here and eat a person, right, and you don't feel no way about it,
It's part of
you don't
some
feel no way that this 9-month-old baby, right, was put on the bottom of a slave ship with their feces, pee, urine, defecation. Women have their menstrual cycles on it. You feel no way about this woman being hung right here on trees. This happened to nobody else but the Israelites. This didn't happen to your people.
Jesus Christ was hung by a rope.
Exactly. You know who did that? You know who hung up? He wasn't hung by a rope, but you know who killed them? Who delivered the final blow? It was the Romans, the so-called Italians. They did that to them. So you don't feel bad about any of this stuff at all? No? Okay. Well, check this out right here. Let me give you your judgment according to the Bible. What's going to happen then? Since you don't feel bad about this right here. Let's go to the book of Obadiah. This is Obadiah chapter 1. And I'm going to start at verse 1. This is the future for you, because you will actually be an Edomite according to the scriptures, right? It says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. Edom. It says, we have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. So in the last days, Christ is going to send his army against the so-called Edomites, your people, right? And this is what's going to happen to them. Let's jump down to verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire. So the house of Jacob is the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which are the Israelites according to the Bible, right? It says, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. So he says there's not going to be no more Edomites left when he returns, when Christ returns. Because this is not Christ right here. Christ will be a so-called black man according to the Bible, right? And no, like you're telling me right now, you don't feel bad for any of this?
I was saying what a black person is somebody who doesn't care if they share their footsteps between a male and a female. It's not black. I think he's green and red.
Huh? You're green and red. Who's green and red? I don't know what you're talking about. You kind of bugged out right now. I don't know what you mean by green and red.
You got all these other
I don't got a lot of what? Because this is not a religion right here. This is a nationality, a bloodline. This is not Christianity. This is not Islam. This is not Buddhism. The bloodline of the Israelites. God's chosen people. This is our bloodline, right? They're not God's chosen people. Let's see. Let's go to the book of Romans. Let's see if the Israelites are God's chosen people or not. Let's go to the book of Romans, chapter.
I mean, where did they get their history from?
Let's see. This is Romans chapter 3. Let's see how much better the Israelites are than God's chosen people. This is Romans chapter 3 and verse 1. What advantage then hath the Jew? Or what profit is there of circumcision? Let's see that, because you said the Israelites aren't God's chosen people, but it's about to tell us that the Israelites, they are God's chosen people, and we profit everything. This is verse 2. Much every way, chiefly because that unto them are committed the oracles of God. So the oracles of God were given to the Israelites. For what if some did not believe? You don't believe that we're God's chosen people, right? You believe that we're just black, you just Negroes and whatnot. The scripture says, for what if some did not believe, like you, right? Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect? So since you don't believe that these people are God's chosen people, the Israelites, it says, should it make the faith of God without effect? Verse 4, God forbid, let God be true, but every man a liar. So it's like saying, let every man be a liar and let God be true. You know? So yes, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
It's like telling a Mexican Irishman you can't walk without.
It's not the same thing. How you doing, sister? Good? Did you get a Bible? I got a Bible now. When the last time you did a Bible? Yeah, King James Version Bible. Yeah. So how you been?
It's something that some people are so...
You okay? Okay. Is everything all right? What happened?
Part of that.
You got sick? Okay, let me open that. Okay, well, I'll pray for you, sister. I'm glad you to see you again. It's good to see you again. Oh, you have that one? Okay. Well, this one is the King James Version right here, so the King James Version. I remember last time you wanted the Bible. What's going on, brother? All right. Okay, so you remember any of those laws we talked about last time? Hey, what's going on, brother?
How you doing?
Pretty good. Do you see yourself on the sign right here?
Always, brother.
Right here, the sign right here. Would you be a so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native American?
I've been told 25
We definitely been accountable. Check this out. This is the book of Romans chapter 11, and I'm going to read verse 1. I say then, have God cast away his people? So you said the 12 tribes have been are not accounted for. I say then, have God cast away his people? God forbid. For I, Cushite, are from Ethiopia, like Ethiopia, Somalia, the Sudanese area. That's your background. So now you can make it to the kingdom of heaven as well, but your position will not be the same as the Israelites on the sign. You actually will have to be a slave in the kingdom. And why? Because your people took our people to slavery as well, through the transatlantic, from the sub-Saharan slave trade. And let me read that to you in the Bible now. So this is the book of Isaiah, because everything I say comes from the Bible. And this is why you might not understand what I was talking about. So this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14. So check this right here. This is your future right here. It says, Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 1. It says, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. So he only chose the Israelites and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them. So you're the stranger. You'll be joined with us, right? You're coming with us too, right? And they shall flee to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So the Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are going to actually rule over you and your people. They're dark as you, brother, but they're not the same people, right? So yeah, we want to be Hamites. We don't do the things that Africans do. You know, we got a different spirit upon us, right? So let me jump down. Let me go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68, because this didn't happen to the Hamites. It says, and the Lord shall bring thee